Man, I feel you. I've been off and on with it. And apparently NXT still keeping the momentum that it's had since before Halloween Havoc as the best bell to bell
I still
television
feel like
program.
that's one of the better wrestling shows. Well, the best wrestling show, and it's one of the only. It's really the only wrestling show right now that's featuring American Negro talent prominently. Any Negro talent prominently.
But again, I believe that Shawn Michaels recognizing the talent that he have and utilizing it, not seeing color, but just recognizing the natural talent that he have, because that's what American Negroes are. We are natural talent, right? Going back to the Temptations, it's five things that is certain things that you put five American Negroes together to do that you can't put five other people to do and to emulate exactly the way that they do it, even if they try, right? Um, then Shawn Michaels is recognizing what he got. So, like I said, eventually they are going to have to come up to the WWE roster. And when they come up to the WWE roster, what do you do with those that are already on the WWE roster? And who do you bring below them? You get what I'm saying? That's when they go run into that box like, hey, okay, we got 10 American Negro men, we got 10 American Negro women. You know, how do we incorporate this to make it not seem like we're pandering? You know what I'm saying? This is going to be the true test. I'm gonna get ready to end it. Let's just see what Ronald got to say. See if he say this on the wrestling aspect. I do got to get ready to cut it. These kids laying down the shit, and I'm starting to be out of it. I got to get up early, uh, earlier. But don't worry, this shit is almost over, boy. I'm almost on my vacation. Ronald, you got it.
You're saying if black,
If you're not
so
gonna be
so no no no. So
productive, if you're
once
not gonna be
again, you're saying
productive,
if
then
black
you're
wrestlers,
gonna
you're
be
saying if
down.
black wrestlers win, it's pandering. If they lose, it's racism. Which one is it?
Hmm. Well, when you look at the parameters of the shit, the fact that they don't have American Negro writers, when you don't have American Negro producers, and when you're not
And you go with the
consistent
tangible
with,
thing again.
excuse
You
me,
go with this
when you're
tangible
not
shit
consistent,
again.
well, tangibles do mean a lot. It's more sincere, means that
But
you're
you're saying
sincere,
you're
right?
saying you want
It
all of
means
that
that
for
it's
them because
genuine,
they're
right?
black.
So wait a minute, let me finish. Let me
You're
finish. Let
saying
me
you're
finish.
saying that you
When you
want
look at the
that
fact,
for them because they are black, not because they're talented. That's fucking ass backwards. Make that make sense.
I don't know why it takes so long for this mute thing, but there it go. It usually take a few seconds
And why
for
the
some
hate for
reason. But
Obafemi?
when what hate
Oh, come on, don't go there now. Don't go there. You know what hate I'm talking about.
did I not just say that he should be the champion?
You straight up said that
Did
it's
I
not
not
time for
just
Trick to give it
say
up.
that he
And
deserved it?
not to mention
It's not.
you also said you hate
It's,
him and Jay Cargill if they said anything the same shit like Bobby Lashley. Am I right?
oh yeah, you damn right about
Ah,
that.
so there it is.
Yeah, you right about that. The bitch better not say shit
Oh,
of the
they
sort.
don't have to listen to
But
you. Who are you to them? Who are
yeah,
you to them?
yeah, a fan.
Clearly,
I
you
pay
weren't a
their
fan of
salary.
Bobby Lashley once you
I
found out
I
he was
I I I
Panamanian.
I
Once you
pay their
found out his
salary.
ethnic
That's what
background,
the fuck I do. I pay their
because
salary,
you
and
got
I'm not talking
so
about no cheap
upset about
tickets
Bobby
either.
Lashley when you found out that a black man had a different ethnic background, and that hurt you so bad. And then you got caught up in his words, thinking he's erasing blackness when he's saying to not be labeled the term black champion because that is dull. Clearly, he
So
means to
when
be
you,
labeled as a champion, not just black champion.
well, he's saying that from a brown man experience, right?
He's clearly black. I don't care
He's
what the fuck
clearly
his
black.
ethnic background is. He's a black man. Fuck all that. and then
So
you try to get an MVP too. Really, you just digging in people's backgrounds now.
yeah, important to know.
And what business is it of yours?
So how do you identify with Panamanian people?
What the
Bobby
well,
Lashley, he's from
how does
Panama.
identify?
How do you
What does that have to
identify?
do with anything?
Well, you saying
Please,
that
please do
all
tell
black
me.
people are the same. So wait a minute. You saying that all black people, do you dress like a Panamanian?
What does a Panamanian dress like? Do you know?
They don't wear busted ass Air Force
And
Ones. I know that.
how would you know that though? Why are you assuming? Do you know and do
Shit.
you know any Panamanians? Do you know any Nigerians? Do you know any Samoans or anyone like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you?
don't know Panamanians, but I know Nigerians, and I know.
Name
Uh,
one.
no, I don't know any Samoans.
Name one.
I do. I just had a whole fucking space with the
Name
goddamn Nigerian the
one.
other day. A very positive Nigerian, by the
Name
way. You can check that
one.
out on YouTube. Which, by the way, if you're not subscribed to Wrestling with Racism, please subscribe and check out the other content and make sure you share with every American Negro that you know, whether they are a wrestling fan or not. And be sure to check out the series Message to the Grassroots as we prepare for the new project 2025. When you are frightened and confused, which way will you choose? I'm about to get ready to cut it in just 1 second. I'm trying to bring this up real quick because I don't know any Panamanians that dress like this. And the thing is, you talk about black people all the same. And, Panamanians could come over and cosplay off of our culture, from the way that we talk to the way that we dress to the way that we walk to the way that we eat, to the things that we eat and whatnot. But can you say the same for yourself? How do you identify with Jamaican culture? How do you identify with Nigerian culture? How do you identify with any other culture? You know what I'm saying? Um, this is just crazy. You know what I'm saying? You don't do forces like this. Just put that in the jumbotron. You don't, you don't walk out the house like that. Like, why? Who the fuck is this string though? Well, you got the soles is busted in that motherfucker. Like, why didn't you throw them shoes away months ago? No, have some pride in your fucking self. Africans don't go all dressed like that. Um, God, um, all right, let me get ready to cut it. I'm out of it anyway. Sunday I'll be more rested. We'll have the wrestling aspect on. I did not get a chance to talk about Eddie Guerrero and his daughter. His daughter said some shit to where she wouldn't date people who is pretty much on the left. You know what I'm saying? Generally, when white folks say left, I believe they talking about black people. I don't believe it's no democratic shit. I don't believe it's no um liberal shit. I believe they, in certain situations, they mean black folk. I did want to get into more of the aspect of Latinos and Hispanics in America identifying as white. Um, we're gonna get into all of that. It's just gonna make it a part two. And I believe that she's one of those ones. One of the trends. It's funny that me and her interacted this week because one of the trends this week was built like a Mexican. And I'm trying to find some good, accurate, full body pictures of this bitch, and she keep trying to hide herself. But from the little collages that I got, the bitch is built like a Mexican. You know what I'm saying? And this is not Eddie Guerrero's. This is not Vicky Guerrero's daughter. This is the actual love child. This is the bitch that Dominic was portraying on TV. And I wanted to know, like, she blocked me after I asked her about her opinions on Chris Benoit. But at first we was rolling for a minute, and so I said that she was Eddie Guerrero's love child. You know what I'm saying? And this bitch gonna try to come at me like her and her mama was engaged and shit. No, your mama was somebody for Eddie to come off the road and fuck on until he got Vicky back. And he did end up getting Vicky back. I've always heard that, as a matter of fact, if it came out of Eddie Guerrero book that your mama was a fucking drug addict. You know what I'm saying? Um, and she was an enabler to Eddie. And this bitch gonna try to sit up here and put up a collage with her with Eddie and her mother in like 9 of the 12 pictures, and they only had 3 pictures of you and your father. So, bitch, your daddy wasn't your daddy. Until listen, your mama could have been fucking anybody along with Eddie. So, if Eddie did not get any DNA test before he died, then there is no actual proof that you are Eddie Guerrero's child. And I'm gonna get on Joey Janela.
That seems like she's trying to brand herself as a political commentator, but that was really,
Well, we're gonna see where this lead to. We're gonna keep an eye on that bitch.
like that wasn't a genuine. Oh, my dad was this Christian like that wasn't like a genuine invoking the memory of Eddie Guerrero to like be reverential. Like she was just like,
No, wait a minute. Then again, wait a minute, because that you know what? In the advertisement I did put out that she said something in particular. She said something in particular that stood out to make me more inclined to believe that Eddie Guerrero was a racist. Because Eddie Guerrero did show that he was a strong Christian, especially after he supposedly got clean and shit. Right? He did let that be publicly known. Again, a lot of these Hispanics and Latinos come to America, and after a while they assimilate to white. And, Eddie Guerrero got into a position where he made some money for a little while before he died. And so he probably did hold white values, white.
but would that bitch know that?
No, I don't believe that she would, unless she talked to Ed, unless she talked in length to Vicky. You know what I'm saying? And got to know Eddie through Vicky, and maybe her children. You know what I'm saying? That's probably where that came from. If that's the case, they're going to give her more insight on her father than anyone else. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
that Bree aggressive tweet. Eddie died in the bathroom by himself with a toothbrush in his mouth.
She was spot on.
Like 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 Joey Janela jumping on her, trying to say she was disrespecting Eddie's memory. I don't think his daughter was doing much to be reverential towards his memory.
She should have known that that's the type of backlash that she was gonna get. And he didn't say nothing back to me. You know what I'm saying? You jumped on that woman. You didn't say nothing back to me when I told you that there was a racial attack that you put on that woman. I let it be known how I felt about the little girl. And let it be known how I felt about Eddie. And that's some shit you should want to respond to, right? Because I could pop up at a GCW show and get to your ass much better than I can get to anything in AEW, right? That's why they know who to fuck with and who not to fuck with. And, like I said, the motherfuckers know to stay away from wrestling with racism too. You get what I'm saying? So, he just tried to get a little clout piggyback off of that, knowing that that was going to be something that a lot of people could get. on him for. But what the girl said was truthful. She's obviously a person that don't give a fuck about black people. So why should we give a fuck about her feelings? Kill her with truth, and that's what she did. You don't know your father. You can only go off of what people tell you about your father. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they probably told her the truth about her father too. You know what I'm saying? And he probably did hold these anti-black views as a white identifying Hispanic, a white identifying Latino. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, 70% of them identify as white out the gate.
Yeah.
So when they try to attach,
And they identify more white than they do with Mexican because when they come over here, especially when they're born here, I should say, they're not living in the Mexican culture. You know what I'm saying? Even in Texas and shit like that is Tex-Mex. That's American, right? That's like American Negroes creating their own culture in America. You know what I'm saying? Um, but they're doing it in the name of whiteness, knowing that that'll probably hold more water for them. You know what I'm saying? Um, so we gonna see where that lead to if she have some more controversial thoughts or if she start to, feel herself or whatever. She could easily take this to say that she was attacked and just keep jumping on that bandwagon. You know, white folk are now saying like white people not they're afraid to say how they truly feel because they don't want to be labeled racist all while saying how they truly feel, right? These aren't necessarily new conversations, but these are conversations that I'm seeing be rehashed. Like Caitlin Clark gave black people their credit on how they built the WNBA.
and white
Uh,
people lost their minds.
like people tend to forget they lost their mind when she came out to support with Kamala Harris. This is how picky white folk is. You know, they forgot about that because she went to the playoffs. I guarantee you by the beginning of the season, they going to forget about that shit too. And use her to spit more racist rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? But you got these white people that was commenting like she was kind of forced to say that to try to calm shit down. White women shouldn't have to be relegated to saying some bullshit like that, pretty much. So we are going to get on a part two. I got to get ready to get out of here. I'm tired. We got far off of the wrestling shit. I do got a more organized thing. We are going to continue with on a more organized way of talking about Eddie Guerrero versus these white Hispanics. Eddie Guerrero fucking fell asleep. So this goddamn topic too. But we're gonna do this again on Sunday. That's more of my free day. Uh, Also, that'll get an opportunity to get Saturday night's main event out the way and give a more deeper analysis on how far is this going to go because eventually it's going to lead to WrestleMania. We got SummerSlam to where they didn't have any American Negroes. We got Survivor Series to where they didn't have any American Negro males. These are the major PLEs. We getting a rehash of Saturday night's main event to where even Bianca Belair can't be featured on it. So eventually it's going to end up leading to WrestleMania, and we got to put an end to it. And it's got to go. You know what I'm saying? Some more figures besides wrestling races. Okay. Uh, we get ready to cut it. Or you got anything else?
Hey man, this was good space, bro. Shit. Looking forward to Sunday, man.
Well, I appreciate you. I'm gonna need you to contact me, but tomorrow you like your phone. So try to watch Saturday night's main event, and then I know that you are more tolerable to AEW, so back dynamite or something and give me a report. Certain things I want to know. Um, everybody,
I, I
watch
I,
your
I was just
ass.
looking at the highlights from last night. I didn't see any black people in any of the highlights. I saw Tony Storm return. They did some shit with Fletch. I don't see any black people on the show last night.
So we can see where that's going. No Shelton, Benjamin, quick match, no Leo Rush, no private party.
They had fucking Ricochet out there. No private party. No. Who are the? Tony came out the other week and said he had the best black talent in the business. Well, where are all these black talents that you have under contract?
Oh, I see her face everywhere I go on the streets, and even at the picture show. Have you
That
seen
was some
her?
racist ass shit to say in the first place.
I've
Like he counted the niggas he had.
been neglecting Tony Khan. I've done uh, shows on Tony Khan, but I usually talk about him for 10, 15 minutes and veer off. It's gonna have to be sit down with Tony Khan. And you know, you gotta know the origins of wrestling with racism. I was more heavily on AEW for the longest than I was with the WWE. Pretty much to the WWE got more blatant. I've been on WWE since SummerSlam in Detroit last year. Even when me that's when I've been. That's when I Bianca. So I got on the WWE. Before then, it was AEW because AEW was the newer company. You know what I'm saying? Um, and they were starting off all wrong. Now that I got more on the WWE, I got people pointing fingers towards the WWE. Uh, oh, the WWE is racist. So Tony Khan is not, and AEW is not. We got to get out that mindset that one form of racism doesn't cancel out the other. Also, people get caught up on seeing one or two people once again and thinking that we satisfied, like you was talking about with Japanese women. It's more active Japanese women on the WWE roster than it is American Negro women. But they bring out these three American Negro women and think that we supposed to be satisfied and content with that. You know what I'm saying?
And another reason people won't hold Tony to account for his white supremacy right away off the bat, or they won't, they'll try to excuse it, is because he is what you would call a brown person. But that's another. Uh,
That shit is I've been on that for the longest. His mother is
yeah,
white.
absolutely.
If you can't tell me when he fled from Pakistan, and if you can't tell me that he grew up in the Pakistani neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? Do he uphold the values of a Pakistani? Do he live his life like a Pakistani, or do he live his
What's the prevailing Pakistani sentiment towards Negroes.
More than likely, hate. That's my guess. I don't know.
I mean, like Arabs,
I
Arabs.
mean, and you're talking about a rich Pakistani. You know, Saeed Khan owned a couple of factories out here in surrounding cities in Detroit called Flexing Gate. Uh, Pretty sure he done walked those floors sometimes, and he probably got a few of working Negroes. Other than that, he could probably all these niggers sag and do this, that, and the other, and listen to this jungle music or some shit. That may be where he getting his perspective from. Other than that, I don't know how they feel about us.
They call us Abed.
But I'm
Uh,
not. You can't.
they call us Abids. They call us slaves. Over there.
Well, they want us to be over there.
And people don't acknowledge that Arabs carried out one of the most horrific slave trades in history. What they did to the Sudanese people, what they did to the Africans. People,
Why are you coming up here with this critical race theory shit again?
what critical race theory seems to always come back to is it's uh, the world versus the niggas.
Yeah, 'cause I don't see them saying, you know, racism between whites and fucking Koreans or nothing. I see them calling that critical race theory. I see them owning up to that shit. If anything, you know what I'm saying? Even shell out a couple of dollars for in the form of reparations. You on the same page, man? Where the fuck you been?
Oh, you were talking to me?
Yes, sir.
Oh shit, bro. How long has wrestling with racism been up? I'm trying to think of when I came across this channel the first time. Like,
I've been posting shit on YouTube. I got active around April or May on YouTube.
I've been on the delineation tip for a minute. A lot more people are starting to address that and get behind that. And I see the movement growing. And when I came across your channel, you were really the only person talking about wrestling and how uh, white supremacy operates within the industry.
Consistently. Consistently. People will mention it here and there, but it takes up a lot of time and it takes up a lot of enjoyment, and it does. Uh, but it is a problem. And like I said, wrestling with racism is not going to last forever. I don't plan on doing this, not even half a year. It's exhausting when it comes down to wrestling because it's like hitting a brick wall with wrestling fans. You know what I'm saying? It's different on other fronts, but the wrestling end is like, but I do want to keep all of this stuff in
Yeah,
context
because
before I'm gone. This is always you can always refer back to this anytime some bullshit happens.
you've been saying, wrestling is you know it's it's like an amalgam. It's like a caricature of what's going on in the broader culture. You can it's it's really showing you what's going on in America. And if you look at wrestling, you see the erasure of American Negroes. If you look close enough,
So goddamn
if
clear.
you, if you look close enough, you don't even really have to look.
So
You
goddamn
don't have to
clear.
look. You don't even have to analyze it on a deep level. Just look at the damn poster for this upcoming PLE.
It's so goddamn clear. And a lot of times, this I get to cutting out, certain shit. Once the conversation turned outside of the main topic that I want to get off on YouTube, but you see, it could have wrestling people in here. Then again, you got a lot of people that's not in the wrestling field, but they could stick with it, not even knowing what the hell that we talking about wrestling, but it's still parallel with what it- we talk about. You get what I'm saying? Because it's still one and the same. It's just this form of entertainment. Same thing if I was to talk about the ins and outs of basketball, baseball, football, hockey, this, that, and the other. It'll still be easier to follow because white supremacy is a thing. You get what I'm saying? Anti-blackness is a thing. Hatred towards us is a thing. Hindrance towards us is a thing.
But it's not.
You get what I'm
We got
saying?
we got to specify it. It's not just anti-blackness. It's anti-American
Negro.
blackness. American Negroes.
Like I'm back on
It's
American Negro.
always
Yeah.
for American
We
Negro.
definitely got to
What they
specify because we're going to get people continuing to think that Bobby Lashley is black just because his skin is darker than mine. You know what I'm saying?
But they always. What are the niggas doing? What they so like it,
We still a spectacular group of people, like I said. Me who can't dance like I used to. You, Chad, Negro, and Ronald. Let's just add the peck of time here. Could study the Temptations for 10 weeks and get their moves down pat. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about just dancing and singing down pat, right? If you got five Africans to come together, they couldn't do it. If you got five whites and they have come together, they couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? You get five Caribbeans to come together, they couldn't do it. We are a spectacular group that people can emulate and it can be acceptable, but it's not going to have that magic. You get what I'm saying? That five other Negroes could do, and it could still have that same type of magic. It's just who we are, our food,
well, we are a highly,
how we take fashion. You know what I'm saying?
we are highly favored people by the Most High.
Yeah, unique, special, great, God's chosen people. You know what I'm saying? I do gotta go. I do. I'm rambling, and it's getting that time. I gotta get up. I'm sorry, y'all. I've been pulling these 16s, and like I said, it's available right now. And then I got my little Christmas time off, thank God. So we go to the road. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get more than enough rest, but right now I'm just out of it. Um, so Sunday for sure. We gonna stick more on the wrestling tip. Um, in the meantime, I do gotta say that we should all protect ourselves as an individual and protect one another as family, as our ancestor Frankie Beverly stated plainly. We are one. That's the way it is. Have a good night.
Forward. Richard Claxton Gregory was born on Columbus Day, 1932. A welfare case. You've seen him on every street corner in America. You knew he had rhythm by the way he snapped his cloth while he shined your shoes. Happy little black boy, the way he grinned and picked your quarter out of the air. Then he ran off and bought himself a Twinkie cupcake, a bottle of Pepsi Cola, and a pocket full of caramels. You didn't know that was his dinner, and you never followed him home. Not poor, just broke. 1.